up the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up, it's time to look at the enemy. Look.
This morning we got a whole lot of loud in my backyard. Y'all know the Blazer, the old Jeep, and Silver Punisher. Yeah, this is the guy I reconed the subwoofer for. He's down here on vacation before World Finals, and apparently the hotel his truck was getting broke into. I don't think this one got broke into. I think his other one got broke into, and they stole all of his SMD tuning tools and everything and a bunch of other stuff. So he wasn't gonna sleep good at night at all. So I'm like, put it in my backyard. Least you can do, guys. Least honestly, you can do. If you can help somebody out, help them out, guys. You know, I try to stress that in the basshead community, not to judge people on their system, brands, whatever, or bash them, and help people out. Help everybody get louder if you can. But at the end of the day, it ain't cost me a damn thing to have that dude park that truck in my backyard. And, you know, I already showed him the camera system and everything.
Security's free.
Yeah, security free. I got, my yard's fenced in. I got a gate out front. So, I mean, I'm sure he slept a lot better last night knowing his truck is here and not in the hotel parking lot. So, try to help. You know, a little shit like that, like I said, it didn't cost nothing. It didn't bother me that it's sitting here. He's supposed to come get it this morning and head to south of the border. I think he's got a hotel there tonight. And he's going to start getting the truck ready for competition tomorrow. But, yeah, I figured I would show you all that. I was going to do a little video last night and post it. And I'm like, well, I don't want nobody to know his truck's here. Which it don't matter because, I mean, there's a lot of loud in my backyard right now. And if somebody's going to break into the vehicles, I mean, they got 3 to choose from. But, like I said, security. Y'all know I got a German Shepherd, so. And that dog alerts me of anything in the yard. They be a stray cat in the yard, he's going off. But, just, that's going to be the intro to today's video. How y'all like that? Buddy?
Not much.
I was just doing a video on your truck, like literally right before you got here. Did you sleep better knowing it was here with cameras and all that shit?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I figured.
Still got broke into again.
Your other one did?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, bro.
Twice.
Yeah, fuck. Well, at least you know that this one's safe. There's a whole lot of loud in this yard.
Oh, yeah.
With these 3, actually, and that little thing, and that ain't real loud, but still.
I got a little baby bump in the Durham.
Right. All right, everybody. Now that we got that little morning, you know, video taken care of, he got his truck all loaded up and he's headed to south of the border for tonight. Man, it's sad that all this stuff got stolen though. They took a ton of like SMD tools. We're talking like the AMM1, the CC1, the DD1, like everything, man. But at least all of his equipment and car radio was safe. You know, that's trying to look on the bright side of things. Anyway, somebody had posted a comment and they wanted to know if you have a system, you know, what's better to run? 1 big amps or multiple amps? Or 1 big amp or multiple smaller amps? And I guess, you know, as an example, we'll use, say, like a 30K. Versus my 4 8Ks. What it's going to boil down to is, one, you really got to factor in room to mount the amps. I don't have much room in here. So the 8Ks work really, really well for me. Now, in addition to that, your rise is going to play a part of it. But even before the rise, your ohm load. You know, what can you wire all of your subwoofers to that is going to work best, you know. You might only be able to get like a 2 ohm load or a 1/2 ohm load. And in that situation, you know, multiple smaller amps might work better for you. Or you might just say, to hell, we're going to run that half, you know. And that's really kind of what it's going to boil down to, is room for what you're planning on running and ohm load. But I think at the end of the day, if you have quite a bit of rise, you're going to be better off with smaller amps. Just because having multiple smaller amps is going to give you more wiring options, you know, especially if they're strappable. And another thing that I really like to look at when it comes to amplifiers and everything is, if you have one big amp and you blow that big amp, you have no amps. But if you have multiple smaller amps and you blow an amp, then you still have a couple amps, you know, or whatever. Like, say you had two 8Ks and you blow one. I'm sure you're going to find a wiring option that's just going to work to run one of them. You know, you might have to drop under 1 ohm or whatever it's rated, but at the end of the day, with impedance rise, a lot of times if you have great electrical, that's okay. I'm not telling you to go out and do it, but if you know what you're doing, you can do it. So I really like the fact that with multiple smaller amps, you do have options. You know, if you send an amp, okay, you know, it sucks when you blow an amp, but you're like, okay, you know, I can wire back up on one amp and still have bass. It's where if you have one really big amp, that's a no-go. Also, a smaller amp is cheaper to ship, cheaper to have repaired most of the time, cheaper on return shipping versus, you know, sending a surfboard through the mail. And, you know, it seems to me like you get more benefits with one smaller amp. Now, at the end of the day, would I like to have like 4 or 3 20Ks in here? Yeah, I'd like to have 3 20Ks in here. But one, I don't have room for all of them. And they're quite a bit more costly than what I'm running. Hell, I'm running DS18 amps, guys. I mean, which they have been great. They are Korean. But at the end of the day, you know, is it my first choice for amplifier? Probably not. Is there better out there? Probably, you know. I'd love to run is like the Incriminator 8Ks or 16K. I think these and the Incriminator 8Ks are probably going to be on the same playing field as far as output, but them 15 or 16Ks they make, Incriminator is just, I've liked them since I was like young in car audio. Or what I'd really like to get my hand on is some Synergy amps, like the Synergy WFO 8.1s, which are way more than an 8K. I mean, they rate them as an 8K, but they are not an 8K at all. Them things are beast. But there again, I don't even know if I'd have room in here for all of them. So it is what it is, guys. When you're planning amplifiers, you know, you got to take into consideration ohm load, fighting rise, room to run the amps. And really, I'm not even going to bring electrical into this because 2 8Ks versus a 20K on your electrical system, you're going to be in the same ballpark. So obviously, if you're at the point where you're doing this decision or making this decision, you should already know and have your electrical on point for whatever you're going to decide to run. So it's going to break down to the key factors that we explained. How can you lay your system out to fit all the amps? Or one huge one, you know? And in some situations, one huge amp might work better for you than a bunch of smaller ones, but that's going to depend on you and your setup. Your ohm load, fighting rise. I mean, these are the key factors you really had to think about. And sometimes it does cost a little more to run multiple amps. Got to buy a distribution block. And that's, you know, for most, that's pretty cheap. If you're on a tight budget, it might not be. And then you have, in addition to that, what else is there? RCAs. You're going to need multiple RCAs. And if you buy good RCAs, them things are kind of expensive there. So you know, you just got to take it and do the math yourself and figure everything out. But definitely, that's my opinion on running multiple amps or one big amp. A lot of situations, one big amp's going to do you fine. But if you have, you know, like 4 or 6 subwoofers, it's really going to come down to what's going to work best for you. I do like running multiple amps. You know, like I said, if I blow an amp, I can pull that pair out because they are strapped. Well, actually, if I blow one of the 4, I can just put 2 subs on each amp. Problem solved, you know. But there's that, and there's also the fact of with rise, a lot of times you do better fighting rise with multiple amps if you can wire them lower. And it seems like multiple amps do help fight rise a little better than like one big one. Because I don't know, you might be spreading the rise out. I don't know. Some of this stuff, I don't know. I understand how rise works. If you have not done it, just kind of get in a room with a subwoofer, or even in your car, like in here, I could hook a multimeter up to one of these coils, and when a car drives by, you'll watch your ohm load on the multimeter fluctuate. If you push on the coil, it's going to go crazy, and that's kind of how impedance rise plays a factor in that, because as the sub's moving, the ohm load's always changing. But to me, to fight rise, I wire low. Like I said, I don't recommend you do that, but I do that to fight rise. And right now with this setup, you know, I clamp a little over 10K out of each one of these amps, wired at a half, rising to 1. So each amp was at a half ohm, they rose to 1. They were strapped, so basically they're strapped at 1 ohm together, but it rose to 2 ohms. So now I'm strapped at 0.67, so each amp is roughly seeing 0.33. And I believe now they're making like way more power, because the subwoofers don't seem to like it when I really turn it up how they did before. They're still taking it, but I think I'm making way more power now. I need to break out the old AMM1 one day and hook it up and see. But once you get over with the amp strapped, Steve says that AMM1 kind of flakes out once you clamp above 15K. So I don't know. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for today's video. And like I said at the beginning of this video, it don't cost nothing a lot of times to help somebody. Whether you're just helping people with your knowledge, if you're at a show and somebody needs something that you have, like if they need to borrow a tool, a lot of times people are looking for A&L fuses. I usually carry spares. I'm more than willing to throw them one, you know, but even letting dude park his shit in my backyard, it didn't cost me a damn thing to do that. And like he said, you know, he did sleep better knowing that it was safe. So just try to help people out, guys. You know, Car Radio's already got enough people bashing brands and talking shit on each other's builds and everything. So if you can be, you could be the person that does, you know, if you do one thing to change that, then that's one thing positive in a world of negativity. And that's what I try to do. I try to bring the positive in and try to get people not to bash shit. So I don't care. I don't know. Either way, guys, this weekend's videos, I'll be at World Finals, so I'm probably not going to do a video Saturday. Sunday, I'll be at World Finals, so I should have some demo videos from in here. And I'm going to try to get some videos from other people that are there, especially them like no-wall builds and the budget builds, guys. If I see them, you already know. I'm going to get a demo from them, because that's what a lot of you guys run. Gives you ideas, and I like all bass, all setups. So peace out, guys. And as always, bass on.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yo, I got a lot of shit to say.